Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All of us here in the room, all of us out there in internet land. I'm Reverend Debbie, and it's my opportunity to host us this afternoon. Yeah, the day's going fast. This morning. And so, this center is based on the one truth that there is a power for good in the universe, and we can consciously use it. And this particular center has a mission to teach, demonstrate, and inspire that positive spiritual approach to living. So check your cell phones, sit back. We've got Victoria and James kicking us off.
Gonna turn this trickle into a flow, saying hello to a new life. Gonna let the riches in my life grow. Now it's my time, this is my time to be everything that I dream I can be in my life. And I know that prosperity starts in my mind. Here and now, here and now. Now I dive right into a sea of joy, going deeper to my treasure. And I drink in every precious drop. I am richer, so much richer. And I have everything that I truly deserve. And there's more. Joy, I receive, I embrace, I commit, I invite, I believe. Open up my arms to this big wide world, saying come on, bring it all on. Gonna ease on down this yellow brick road, full of wonder, so much wonder. I can be everything that I choose to be, and my life, and I know that prosperity starts in my mind, here and now, here and now. I allow, I enjoy, I receive, I embrace, I commit, I invite, I believe. Here and now, here and now, here and now, here and now, oh, here and now, here and now, here and now, here and now.
That was lovely. Thank you both. Okay, so let's start with a prayer, shall we? It's always a good thing to do after a lovely song like that. Please join me. Let's just take one of those great breaths together that opens our heart and drops our shoulders and just allows us to connect to that within that we know is divine expression of the one. It is that divine expression of the one that gathering us here today. And it is that breath that we have in common, that life force. And so, right here and right now, I know that this day is unfolding as it should. That what needs to be said is said, what needs to be heard is heard, what needs to be shared is shared. And I just give thanks. I give thanks for this spiritual community that always, always has my back. I give thanks for the music. I give thanks for the audio visual. I give thanks for all of it. And I allow Spirit to do the heavy lifting as I release these words, knowing that it is all already perfect, and so it is. All right, so let's anchor this, shall we, with a group reading. So, I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and presence for good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. And so it is. All right, speaking of light, every Sunday we honor the more traditional paths to the one, knowing that there are many paths, many rituals, but it all comes to the one. So Joan is going to help me as we light the flames of faith. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And we light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now I invite all of us to take a moment and just recognize that flame within, that spark that is always burning bright, providing direction, guidance, and love. Thank you all. All right. As we move right along, I'm going to have Amy come up. She's got an inspirational reading for us.
Good morning, everyone. So this is an affirmation that was in the Science of Mind magazine for this month, October 2025, and it's called Glow Up. I am the light. Declare today that you are the light of the infinite. As the light of the infinite, you bring the power of love everywhere you go. What's great about this is you don't have to try. This is who you naturally are. I am the light of the infinite. Everywhere I go, I lovingly shine my light of peace, joy, and power. I am the light of God. Lighten up. With all that's going on, I remember that I have a responsibility as a spiritual entity having a physical experience to share my light where there is seeming darkness. Let's decide to lighten up today. My heart is lightened because I am one with God. I am the light of the infinite. I light up every room I step into. Inside out. Being spiritual entities having physical experiences, we live from the inside out. Now is the time to tap into the inner splendor of our being and glow like never before. Tap in and turn on your brilliance. I am the living, breathing expression of God. I live my life from the inner strength that lives, moves, and has its being as me. I live from the inside out. Finally, glow. The body temple is here for the blink of an eye. However, we are eternal beings. And while we're here, let's glow, let's shine, let's love like our lives depend on it. I am the eternal spark of the divine. I glow with infinite possibilities. I am supported in all I do. I am the light and love of God. And so it is. Thank you.
health, wholeness, and happiness. Health, wholeness, and happiness. Praise the good and raise the world with health, wholeness, and happiness. Wealth, wonder, and willingness. Wealth, wonder, and willingness. Praise the good and raise the world with wealth, wonder, and willingness. Love, laughter, and letting go. Love, laughter, and letting go. Praise the good and raise the world with love, laughter, and letting go. Health, wholeness, and happiness. Health, wholeness, and happiness. Praise the good and raise the world with health, wholeness, and happiness.
All right, get ready. Here she comes, Reverend Joanne.
Thank you, Reverend Debbie, and thank you, Amy. That was lovely. And you know, everybody should subscribe to that magazine. It has so much good stuff in it. Every month, I read it from cover to cover. And find good stuff. We've been now using articles in it for our prison ministry. We take those articles and share them with the circle that we speak to, and they've been very generated a lot of good conversation. So anyway, a little plug for the Science of Mind magazine. Thank you, Victoria and James, for your wonderful music, and I am happy to be here today. You know, this month of October, unbelievable, 80s, 90s, lots of blue sky, not so much today, but put me in mind of a poem that I think we learned it in grade school. It's called October's Bright Blue Weather. Anybody remember that from way back when? It was written by a woman named Helen Hunt Jackson. I'm just going to share the first verse with you. She says, "O sun and skies and clouds of June and flowers of June together, ye cannot rival for 1 hour October's bright blue weather." And sometimes October doesn't give us this great weather, but wow, this has just been great, and hopefully it's over. Hopefully we get some fall now. So this month, we are going to have a theme that talks about, instead of just jumping into something when we have a challenge or something, instead of just jumping into it, let's remember to go within, to tap into that peace and power and abundance and joy and wisdom that we all have. Our Creator experiences life in, through, and as us, and we can tap into that. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about, over the next couple of weeks, we're talking about 7 different ideas, ways that you can tap into that power so that then you can radiate all these good things, the wisdom and love and joy and peace, out. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. Charles Fillmore, who is the founder of the Unity Church, he said this: "The external striving, wandering, must stop its restless seeking without and repose at center. It must be obedient to that center and learn the language of spirit." must go within to find our wisdom. And then we can live the life that is going to be richer for us, I believe. So today we're talking about 7 different reasons, ideas to go within. And today I'm going to cover 3.5, and Debbie will cover 3.5 next week. So today I'm going to cover look up, lift up, lighten up, and very briefly make it up. So when we talk about this idea of look up, Reverend Debbie and I attended over Zoom a class from Kathy Ann Lewis in Seattle, and she was talking all about this idea of looking up. And we have to remember this is symbolic. You don't look up to the heavens to find your higher power. Your higher power is everywhere, always, in, as, through you, around you, beneath you, above you. And yet, there's something kind of magical about this idea of looking up. Did we do anything? No, we didn't. We were thinking about doing pictures of some saints, and the way the pictures of them, you'll see they're looking up like that. And I know that I do that. If I'm stuck on something, if I've got something I'm trying to think of, my eyes will go like that. And for some reason, I think it takes our focus off the problem in front of us and gives us more clarity. I mean, I know I do it all the time when I'm trying to think of something or remember something, that my eyes go up. So that is the first thing that we can use to tap into the God stuff. Look up and just say, I'm connecting with my higher power right now. I'm letting go of the thing that I'm concerned about and just getting in touch with something that can really give me the power to go forward. There's a religion called Sikhism, S-I-K-H. Did I put that K right? S-I-K-H, yeah, the Sikh religion. They're from India. They've been around since the 14th century, and they've got a lot of beliefs that are similar to ours, or should I say our philosophy has ideas similar to Sikhs. They came before us. So, but one of them is this idea of oneness, of divine unity. Kind of unique stuff, right? Not so unique. It's old ideas, new thought. This is new thought of old stuff. They believed in the equality of all mankind, and they believed in selfless service, the very words that we tend to use in our philosophy, and they reject any claim that any particular religion has the corner on the truth. They're very open. And so anyway, here's in their text, here's what they said. Should anyone be victim of great anxiety, his body racked with maladies, beset with problems of home and family, with pleasure and pain alternating, wandering in all 4 directions without peace or rest, should he then contemplate the Supreme Being, peaceful shall be his mind and body become. In other words, when you got problems, quit wandering around trying to find the answer from without and go within. So these wise words of wisdom were spoke long ago, and I think these are the kinds of things Ernest Holmes studied and tried to put concisely in his Science of Mind philosophy. So the idea is to look up, get some clarity, don't concentrate on your problem, but look up for the clarity. And the second idea is lift up. And when we talk about lift up, we're talking about lifting your vibrations. In our circles, we talk a lot about everything's got a vibration. I've got a vibration. This thing has a vibration. Even though it looks solid, everything has a vibration. Jerry and Esther Hicks wrote a book called Ask and It Is Given. I read the book. It's a good book. And they have something they call an emotional guidance scale. And this scale is very much like the book that David Hawkins wrote, Power versus Force, with many of us are familiar with. Alicia borrowed it from me probably 6 months ago, and she enjoyed it immensely. And, speaking our language. And this emotional guidance it's got a scale. So you start on the bottom emotionally, kind of like, I like to talk about the rung of the ladder, and where are you on this rung of the ladder? The very bottom is things like fear, depression, despair. You can move up a rung maybe to anger, discouragement, and blame. Then to disappointment, frustration, pessimism. Then to boredom, contentment, hopefulness. So we're getting there. We're getting a little more positive here. And then optimism, enthusiasm, happiness. Go up another rung, passion, joy, appreciation. And then at the top of the ladder is empowerment and love. And this ladder coincides very much with the David Hawkins model. I think he starts out with shame and guilt on the bottom and ends up with peace, joy, and enlightenment at the top. But the idea is the same. We run on these certain vibrations. So when we're facing a challenge, it's really a good idea to go within and kind of determine, where am I? Where am I with this? If you're feeling a lot of frustration, you don't want to just jump into facing a challenge, because you're not going to get the good results. When you realize where you're at, if you're down there on that fearful rung of the ladder, you want to say, I need to get my vibrations up to the point where I'm more in alignment with my higher power. More in alignment with peace. And we're not going to probably jump from fearfulness to love just like that. But maybe we're sitting at the point, maybe we're sitting at frustration when we're facing something, and maybe we can go within and say to the Spirit, yeah, I'm feeling frustrated about this, and I intend to move up on this rung, and maybe we move up to the rung of optimism, not to the very top, but we make a little progress. We change our mind. We move up a little bit. So this is the idea of lifting up our vibrations. And how do we do that? By our thoughts, by our thinking. Change your thinking. And that's huge. We always have power over we have choice over our thoughts. And again, that Science of Mind magazine is a wonderful way to keep your thoughts positive and constructive. If you find you're wallowing in this fear and frustration, put some positive thoughts and ideas into your head. And then the third idea is to lighten up. And that's kind of like it sounds. God, our Spirit, my Creator, I don't think had in mind to have this experience in, through, and as this vehicle with me walking around in sackcloth and ashes on my head. I don't think that's what our higher power has in mind. I believe we are here to give our higher power a good ride. We are our higher power's vehicle to express life on this realm. And I believe we should think about, what kind of ride do I want to give it? And so why not keep our thoughts positive and constructive? There's a German Catholic priest from the 12 and 1300s, late 1200s, early 1300s, Meister Eckhart. And he said, joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. Not judgment, not look out, I'm going to punish you, but joy. Joy is the infallible sign. And again, Ernest Holmes sought these kind of messages out from way back when, brought them forward into his book called Science of Mind, and I think brought us the best of some of these philosophies that we now enjoy so much, and we can look at our spiritual life in a real positive and powerful way. We can be open to this very power that created everything that is within us. We can tap into it, and we can use it for our good. Speaking of lightness of heart, I don't. Some of you remember Diana Nordenstrom, who used to be a practitioner here, and then some guy whisked her off, married her, and took her to Arizona. 3 years later, unfortunately, he died, and she's still in Arizona. But she used to tell this story, and I'm telling you, if this guy knew the story she told, he would be surprised at the kind of impact he had on people. She said this guy she worked with used to say to her every once in a while, "Diana, life is so easy for me." What a mantra. Life is so easy. I mean, how often do we say that instead of saying, "I can't believe how horrible I feel. I'm so depressed. I can't go on." That, we have to guard against that. It's so important to keep our thoughts positive and constructive. And even when we're going through difficulties, we can, as it says somewhere in the Bible, or maybe it's even in the Ten Commandments, put the best construction on everything. Even when things are looking a little negative, we can know that wherever we are on that ladder of consciousness, we don't have to go down, we can go up. And we do that by putting positive thoughts into our head. So let's keep that in mind. It's just a good mantra. Life is so easy for me, especially on those days that we aren't feeling life is so easy for us. Let's just negate that and know that I have a power within me, the power that created everything and everyone. How tough can life be? Let's know that we can call on that power within. So the last point, the last idea is what I'm going to introduce, and then Debbie will finish off next week. It's called Make It Up. So we've covered look up, lift up your vibrations, lighten up, life is so easy for me, and then make it up. And this is something about the idea that we can rewrite our own story. And we all, most of us have a story we look back on and say, I mean, I've thought about this. If I would count the bad decisions I've made, I mean, it's not a good exercise to go through. I mean, but don't we all have things we look back on and say, that was not a good choice that I made? And yet that is the past. And again, we're on this rung of a ladder. We don't have to go down. We can go up. So the author Edwene Gaines, most of us are familiar with her. One of the books she wrote that I think is probably one of the ones maybe we've studied here, Four Spiritual Laws. She had this friend, and the friend gave her a business card, and behind her name she had the letters MSU. Edwene thought, man, she must be a big deal with these letters behind her name, and she didn't know what MSU meant. So she said to the lady, she said, "That's great, but I don't know what that stands for." And the lady says, "It stands for make stuff up." Create your own story. And we can. We don't have to be who we were 25 years ago, making bad decisions, feeling bad about ourselves, listening to people tell us that we're not enough. We can go from right here, and we can make up our own story. And I'm sure Debbie will elaborate on this next week. So we've got these ideas to look up, take our eye off the problem, just get a different focus, and to lift up the vibrations, go from fearfulness to exuberance or wherever we want to go, And then we've got Lighten Up, this whole idea of life is so easy for me, and make it up. Make up a good story, a story that you feel fits you at this time. And this is what I would suggest for your homework. Take some time this week and think about that. How can I, and Debbie and I did this. I think Debbie did it more faithfully than I, because I know you talked about it in several messages after that about looking up. And just try that and just see if it doesn't shift your focus from maybe powerlessness to, oh, I can do it this way. And then think about lifting up your vibration from fear to wherever you want to go, and then make it up. What's your new story? Tell yourself, it can be just one sentence. It doesn't have to be a mammoth story, but just tell yourself a new story. I am now in charge of my life with the power of the Spirit within me. I can do it all, and I'm ready. I'm enthusiastic. I'm being willing to be guided, whatever it is, whatever suits you. So that's an idea for some homework. But I'm going to end with a story that I think illustrates the message that I've given today. And the story is about this young man, and there was a cave near his home. And he was exploring in this cave, just screwing around with a flashlight. And he saw something glimmering on the floor of the cave, and he went over and he picked it up and he dusted it off. And it was a dusty old rock, but as he dusted it off, he said, I think this is a diamond. And it was a pretty big one. He thought it was probably 6 to 8 carats. This could have some real value. So he was pretty excited. So he put it in his pocket and, of course, kept looking because he figured, well, if there's one, there could be more. So he's looking, he didn't find anything. He's walking out of the cave. He reaches in his pocket. No rock, no diamond. It's gone. And so he's like, oh no, I must have dropped it, must have fell out of my pocket. So he goes back into the cave and searches and searches. Couldn't find it. Goes back the next day, searches and searches. Goes back the next day, till he loses, he's a carpenter. He loses his job. He loses his job. Because he loses his job, he doesn't have any money, he loses his house. He just so obsessed with finding this rock in the cave. So he decides he's just going to pitch a tent by the cave, and every day he's going to go in there and search for this rock. And that's what he does. He goes every day, searches, loses not only his job and his house and his money, but his relationships. Just everything gone. And he just too intent, too kind of fascinated by, I gotta go back in this cave and find this rock. And years passed. And then one day he suddenly comes to the realization, this is kind of futile. I'm actually gonna quit doing this. And I'm gonna get back into my life, go back into my profession, rebuild my relationships, build up some money, buy a home, get my life back in order. So he thought, I'm gonna one more day I'm gonna spend. So he goes in that cave and he's in there 18 hours. He's on his hands and knees. His knees are bleeding, his hands are bleeding. It's dirty. But he's in there looking and looking. 18 hours pass, and he thought, well, I said this is going to be my last day. It's my last day. And he plops down, lays on his back, filled with this dirt and blood. And he thinks about his life, and he thinks, I have devoted weeks and months and years to this futile task. And he starts to laugh at the ridiculousness of it. How could he do this? And he kind of comes to his senses. He starts thinking about what he could still do. Get out of this cave, go back to his carpenter job, try to renew his relationships, blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to appease his guilt, thinking of what he can do in his life. And as he realized that he had this obsession for finding this diamond, and now he could release it, and he began to feel something that he hasn't felt for years, and that is interest in the future. What could possibly be out there for me now? And he started to look forward to it, and thinking about getting his job back and getting back within some of his relationships and friends and stuff. And so he thought he actually was, in his mind, he was rewriting his story. I don't have to do this every day, I can do this. And so from that moment on, he decided, I'm just going to be grateful, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of every day. And so in this story, we can see that he lifted his vibrations. He went from kind of obsession, he went to excitement about the future, to some optimism about the future. We saw him lighten up by laughing at himself, and we saw him make it up. My new future can be this, that, and the next thing. But where did he look up? Well, you see, the story's not over. So, laying on his back, laughing at himself, all dirty and grimy. He's got his flashlight laying on his back. He looks up. And what does he see? A ceiling of this cave dripping with diamonds. And of course, he sells gets the cave, sells the cave, the diamonds, and gives a lot to charity, and gets married and buys the house and lives happily ever after. So we are always at choice. No matter where we are on this rung of a ladder, we can be on that bottom rung, and we can move up from there. We are always at choice. We can look up, take a different view, get some clarity. We can lift up our vibrations, go within and just speak to Spirit and say, I choose to move from this fearfulness that I've had. I choose to be optimistic. I choose to look at the exciting things that are ahead of me in life. And we can lighten up and say, I don't have to do this alone. I know that Spirit is with me to lift me, and I'm going to enjoy myself along the way. So we can lighten up and make it up. And we can all do this. We can all rewrite our story. So with that, I would like to ask you just to relax where you're at. Maybe take a deep breath, settle into your seat, and I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment, which is basically an affirmative prayer around these words that I just spoke. And I know there is but one power in the universe, and that power is a power of joy. It is a power of peace and love. It is the power that has the perfect solution to any perceived dilemma in my life. And I know I am one with it. It experiences life in, through, and as me. I have that very light of Spirit, that very power of Spirit within me. It experiences life through its creation. And with that power within me, I declare right here, right now, that I know when I get off course, I can now look up, change my focus, get some clarity. I can lighten up. I can lift up my vibrations from fear to optimism, to enthusiasm. I can laugh at myself and just know that I can also make it up. I can make up a new story. How do I want my story to look from here? And I am grateful that these words that I speak are powerful and they're true. And I release these powerful words to that beneficent conspiracy which does the work, and so it is.
So this next tune, this is called Wings of Autumn. It is to the tune of Autumn Leaves. And I wrote this last year, but it has different lyrics that fit CSL. while autumn shades fall from the trees, a time to let go, just like the breeze. What once was held, we now release. In shedding weight, we find our peace. You're born with wings, not meant to crawl. So rise up, dear soul, don't fear the fall. In transformation, we are free to fly beyond what used to be. The winds of change, they guide us high. We spread our wings, embrace the sky in letting go. Our hearts take flight and find love in autumn's light. With every leaf that falls below, we thank the past and then we let it go. With gratitude, we now prepare to live with love and to rise with care. So as the leaves fall to the ground, no strength and beauty can be found. You have the wings to soar above. In autumn grace you'll find love. In autumn grace you'll find love.
That was all so lovely, wasn't it? Okay. Now is our opportunity to give back to this center. And so I know a lot of us do the online consistent giving thing, and we are so blessed by that. I know there's the opportunity to give via text or online if you're watching us, but however we give, let us take it into our consciousness right now, can we? And let us just put it over our heart and breathe into it, because this gift we give because we're spiritually fed, because we know who and whose we are, that our source is the very thing itself. That is the truth. And so as we give of this financial gift, I ask all of us just to breathe in some love and some peace, to breathe in some comfort. That is what the world needs. That is what this country needs right now. Some more love and some more peace, and just some deep healing breaths. And so, I give from love. I receive in love, and I give thanks for how it goes out and how it comes back in. Pressed down and multiplied, running over, and so it is.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
I almost stepped up to the microphone while I was singing, and that would be such a bad thing. Trust me, such a bad thing. Oh, such a bad thing. Oh, no. Okay. So, we got some great announcements happening. So, first off, Saturday, October 18th, the Hope Center is having a circle of collaboration. It's similar to the circle of consciousness that we had here in May. It's from 10 to 2 in Mankato. There's a sign-up sheet. If you're interested in going, sign up. We're gonna maybe do a quick Zoom call or have an email exchange, see how we can sort of like carpool down and maybe grab lunch and make it an outing. So we would love to have you all come and join us. There's a sign-up sheet. And if you're interested and not here, you can send an email to info@cslminneapolis.org and we'll put you on the list. So there's that. On Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 o'clock, we are going to start a book discussion around spiritual economics by Eric Butterworth. If you've not read anything from Butterworth, he's really considered a modern day Ernest Holmes, to be honest with you, is how he's been considered. He was a unity minister, and we're really looking forward to this 6-week book discussion. Each book discussion will be independent, right? So you go to the website, you sign up. When you sign up, you get an email on a weekly basis of what chapters we're covering and some highlights from the last conversation. Do not have to attend every one. But the whole idea of spiritual economics, it's about knowing, God is our source. It's about knowing that we are already blessed and already abundant. And so it's not about money, it's about living from that place of knowing our truth. So there's that. Let's see here. We've been playing around with this idea. When somebody says to you, what do you believe? I know you go to this place on Sundays, but what do you really believe? And some of us struggle with an answer to that question. So we've got a little cheat sheet here. So there are some one-liners for when you just want to have a converse. Well, this is what I believe. End of story. Such as, think of us as spirituality without guilt. Right? And then there's a little longer in case you're being asked inside of an elevator. We've got these here for you. We're going to get them on the website at some point in time. And if you come up with one of your own, let us know, because we'd like to hear what you say to that question. So there's that. And then next weekend, Anthony.
I'm sure y'all tired of hearing about this, but next weekend is the St. Paul Fall Art Crawl. There's some little cards up at the counter with information, the hours. I hope you will try to stop by and see this exhibit at Wells Fargo Place. I have about 14 artists, and it's going to be great.
And it starts?
It's Friday. I will be opening the doors at noon. It's Friday until 10 p.m. Saturday is noon to 8, and Sunday is noon to 5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
That's next weekend?
Next weekend. And it's free. And you get to buy stuff once you get there. And it's close to the food court. Yeah, so you can get something good to eat or drink. All right, so I'm going to pray us out. Joanne's going to bless us. Victoria and James are going to sing us out. And then we're celebrating September and October birthdays. So we're going to have cake. Yay. Yeah, I was September. Dee Dee is in October. Jeff is in October. Anybody else in September or October? Okay, we're having cake. Chocolate cake. Don't you wish you had gotten dressed and come here now? Yes, there's that. Okay, let us take one of those conscious breaths together. Because whenever I need to lighten up, that's what I do. I just take that conscious breath and remember who and whose I am. It is that very thing itself. It is God, it is Spirit, it is whatever you call it. Pressing to express with joy and with clarity and with ease and with a deep knowing that it is all working out for the highest and the best. So, I just say thank you. Thank you for this community. Thank you for this gathering. Thank you for this opportunity of remembering the truth. Thank you, Spirit, for doing the heavy lifting in all of our lives. And I just know we are willing to be willing to let that be, and so it is.
And I'll leave you with this blessing. May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Well, we hear the wise folks say we create our own way. There are wonderful things happening every day. On this journey we all play, crafting lives with thoughts we sway. There are wonderful things happening every day. Oh, every day, every day, every day. Yeah, there are wonderful things happening every day. Oh, every day. Yeah, every day. There are wonderful things happening every day. If you wish to rise and shine, let your thoughts be pure and fine. There are wonderful things happening every day. With our minds, we design a life that's truly divine. There are wonderful things happening every day. Oh, every day. Yeah, every day, every day. There are wonderful things happening every day. Oh, every day. Yeah, every day. There are wonderful things happening every day. For For the inner light is bright, guiding through both day and night. And there are wonderful things happening every day. Speak of triumph, speak of things, and show your deeds and spirits meet. There are wonderful things happening every day. When abundance feels afar, just remember who you are. There are wonderful things happening every day. Our truth is wealth in plain sight. Within us lies the light. There are wonderful things happening every day. Every day, yeah, every day. There are wonderful things happening every day. Oh, every day, yeah, every day. There are wonderful things happening every day.